So one of the most heartbreaking news that I have to deliver is Sergio Ramos. For me, he is the soul of Real Madrid. 671 appearances, 101 goals, along with 40 assists. A World Cup winner, four-time Champions League winner, five times league winner. For me, one of the best defenders of this generation is leaving Real Madrid. How do you take this move? Was it shocking? And where do you see him go next?
It is very shocking. And even though I say that, look what they did with their legend Raul. So it's not something new to Florentino Perez now treating their legends like this. And with the reports coming in that Real Madrid actually withdrew their contract offer and Ramos wanted to extend, it's truly heartbreaking. And knowing a few Madrid fans like I do, the emotions that they were showing, it's hard to see. It's like Maldini right at the end of the career. If he were to leave AC Milan, I can imagine what I would have felt like. Ramos, after an absolute tremendous career at Real Madrid, for him to go out like that, he's still 35. And that might seem old, but you got to keep in mind, he's a center back. And a lot of center backs play it late into their 30s. So with his positional understanding and the way he understands the game, his leadership skill, he's going to be an addition to any team that can bring him on, whether that be United, whether that be PSG. And he's been linked with Milan as well, but with him asking almost 12 million euros of salary, it's going to be tough to ask. And a 15 million, I think, bonus as well, signing on bonus is what the rumors are suggesting is going to be asking for. So I probably see him going to United as the most likely outcome. The reason I don't see PSG, I'm not sure what the relationship between PSG and Real Madrid is like right now, but a difficult move for Ramos. And if he does end up joining PSG at the end of the day, that would make the move for Mbappe very, very difficult because of the relationship that would be strained between the two clubs. Now, Milan is a move that I wouldn't really want because we've already got a very good Tomori and we've got Kier. So I don't see Ramos going to Milan or PSG. I feel like United is on the card, and a stylish player in the most followed team in England does make sense. Do you want him at United?
Absolutely. But I think City cannot be ruled out from the conversation. Pep Guardiola is a fan of Ramos, even though he committed the most fouls and got the red card against the Pep Guardiola Barcelona. But United can really gain a lot of momentum from this move. Even if you get around 25 appearances that can really lead the title charge for Man United next season, I'd say get him. 10 million for a generational talent like Ramos, a centre back who can chip in with goals, is a proper leader, has experienced all stages of world football, and can offer the youngsters a chance to improve themselves from his ability as a captain. I think that is something that you can pay for, and it will likely be a positive outcome at the end. Ramos for me makes sense for Manchester United. I would actually go for Pau Torres and Ramos because you're not paying the transfer fee for Ramos. You pay the money for Pau Torres, get Ramos on a free transfer, and you have Harry Maguire as a good option on the bench, or he can start a few games as well. That is, for me, the ideal transfer window for Manchester United, but City are heavily linked as well. So let's see what happens. I want to ask you this question before we close this topic up. Obviously, you have seen Maldini being an AC Milan fan. You have seen Nesta. You have seen Vidic, Ferdinand, John Terry. Where do you rank Ramos among the greatest defenders of all time?
It's very difficult to do so because he's probably in the top 5. But when you really start comparing him with the likes of Maldini, Brescia, and even Cannavaro, there are some great defenders. But when you're already talking him in that light, it really shows what he can do. And keep in mind, their neighbors, not their neighbors per se, but their rivals have another great defender in the likes of Gerard Piqué, and he's not spoken of in the same light as Ramos is. And if Piqué was left out of the Spain squad, they wouldn't talk about it as much as Ramos being left out in the Spain squad. So it really shows the impact and a true generational talent that Ramos is. An absolute tremendous player. And what makes him and what really sets him apart is he's not just a defender, he also attacks. Sometimes he's almost playing like a striker for Real Madrid at times. So a truly special player and in a truly special Madrid team. And with him leaving, Madrid is not the Madrid that we grew up with now. There aren't any great players there. Now, obviously, we've got Benzema and we've got Modric, but that's a shell of their former self. They're not the players that they were. Ramos was still playing at the top level, though he missed half of the season. The times that he did play, the leadership that he possesses is something truly special. And what the club presidents need to understand is even if your legends cannot play, the impact that they make even off the bench is something else. Just look at what Zlatan did for AC Milan. He missed half of the season, but the actual mentality change that he brought to the club was something else. It's sad to see him leave, and seeing him in tears, even though I'm not a big fan of Real Madrid, really breaks my heart. And salute to you, Capitano. A tremendous season, a tremendous career. What a player. Hats off to Sergio Ramos.